Every single day, I'm gonna make something great.
So they drove up literally right in front of us. Today's a story time video. This video I'm going to be talking about, well, telling you the story of how I dated when I dated two guys at one time. It is very funny actually. So I don't know, I just thought the story would be fun to tell. I'm 26 now, and when this did happen, I was how old? I was 20 years old. So I was like 19, 20 years old. But okay, so like here's how it all started. Oh yeah, before we get started, please, if you're watching this video, give this video a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. You guys, I would love the support on my channel. To start the story off, I'm gonna tell you how I met the first guy. Alright, so let's start the story. So it all began when I was about 20 years old. I was actually living in my first apartment with my sister and her boyfriend and her son. So it was a 2-bedroom, a small apartment. I had my own room. Pretty much my job at that time, like it was my first job, and I worked at SeaWorld, and I'm not even kidding, like my first job was cleaning toilets at SeaWorld, and it was actually not that bad, like, but that's, you know, it's for a different story. Anyways, so pretty much my days consist of, you know, going to work, coming home, going to the gym. I was actually very fit when I look back on it. Yeah, I was single. My first boyfriend had broke up with me like a few months prior to that, but it was not a bad breakup at all. So yeah, I was living, you know, the young life. I didn't party or anything much. I just like went out with my friends, went out to eat a lot. Like occasionally I would go clubbing or whatever. But yeah, it was like the prime time in my life where I was single and young. So I met this guy. Well, back it up a little bit. Me and my younger sister went to play pool one day at this bowling alley, and we were playing pool, and then we see these two guys. Like one was her age, she was like 14, I was 20, and she sees this boy from her school, and she's like, oh my god, he's so cute, like telling me all about him. And then I was like, oh my god, like this other guy walked in and he had like a wife beater t-shirt and jeans on, and he was like this Cuban guy. His body looked like Channing Tatum, you know, his face was alright. But anyways, so I was like looking at this guy, and they so happened to play pool right next to us. Yeah, so while we were playing pool, like the guy that I was looking at, he came up to me and was like flirting with me. And he was like super Cuban, like he was super Spanish. He barely spoke English, kind of sexy to me, I guess. And he said this thing which I still find funny to this day. He was like, I want to be your boyfriend. And he said it like in like the most horrible English accent ever. But yeah, he just came up to me and was like, I want to be your boyfriend. And I was like, okay. So I gave him my number, and he gave me his number, and then me and my sister left the bowling alley. We were all blushing because that night after that happened, like the boy that she liked actually gave his phone number. So like we were both just like thought we were like so bad. I didn't think he'd call me or whatever. I didn't call him. I wasn't that kind of girl that called a guy first at that time. So it was literally like the next day, and he had texted me. I don't even remember getting his name, but he texted me. It's Ernesto from, you know, the bowling alley. His text message is like, hi, I meet you at bowling alley, and you know, I want to date you or whatever. It's like so weird, but I was just like, he's really hot, so I want to go out with him. And so I got all dressed up. He asked me out that night. So I got all dressed up, put my extensions in. I'm not wearing extensions right now, but at the time I was. Put my extensions in, did my makeup, like got really dressed up, and then went to meet him. And we were gonna meet at a restaurant, but as I was texting him, he was just like, meet me at this gas station. on the way there, you know, and I wasn't thinking much of it, so I met him at the gas station. Yeah, I met him at the gas station, and pretty much we were like talking for like 2 minutes, and this makes me nervous talking about it. Talking for like 2 minutes, flirting, and then he just kisses me like super strong. He just kisses me, and I kissed him back, and we just like kept kissing. I kid you not, it was like probably 5 minutes of kissing, like at the gas pump. It was like so crazy. Like, I don't even think about it, but he was like touching me, and I barely knew this guy, but you know, we were just like having a full-on makeout session at the gas station. And after that, like, you know, we had sex, but yeah, anyways. So like, so me and this guy kept dating, and we dated for like a month. And when I say date, I mean like we hooked up. So we hooked up for like a month with each other. I didn't know much about him because he barely spoke English. Like, I didn't really care at that time. But anyways, so he would come over to my place, and we'd go out on dates. And during that time, my sister's boyfriend actually like hooked me up with his friend, because I saw his friend a lot. You know, he was like good looking, had a nice body, whatever. And he came over to our house a lot, so like he would flirt with me like all the time. Like, I remember one time I came down the stairs, and he was just like, God damn, like, sorry, I'm bad with impersonations, but yeah, he was just like, damn, like, you look good. And I was just like, oh, thanks. You know, I thought I was like all that back then. So yeah, he just like flirted with me a little bit at a time, and then like it took me a lot of convincing to actually go out with him, because I didn't want to date my sister's boyfriend's friend. You know, I didn't want to be that close, especially I was dating this other guy. Like, I knew the other guy wasn't serious, and I knew I didn't want him to be my boyfriend or whatever. But you know, I didn't want to date two guys at the same time. So it took a while, and then eventually, like, we went out on a couples date, me and my sister and her boyfriend and the boyfriend's friend. So we went out bowling, and you know, me and this guy, I'm not gonna say his name, but we were just flirting the whole time, and you know, we were really vibing off of each other. We had a lot of chemistry. Like, I could actually talk to this guy, which was really nice. So after that, you know, I did like him. And then we went to like a family event, my sister's boyfriend's family event together. We just kept like looking at each other. We didn't really talk a lot. We just kept looking at each other. And then on the ride home, we kind of like made out in the back seat. I was like really into making out back then, I guess. So yeah, we made out. I happened to like him then. My sister was all happy for me, and her boyfriend was all happy, and blah blah blah. But yeah, so that night we went back to my house. We ended up watching movies until like 5 in the morning, until he had to go to school the next day. We were both in college at this time. But yeah, we were just like cuddling the whole night. It was kind of cute, and we were just like cuddling and talking and just kissing, and you know, I ended up really liking him. But anyways, he had left, and I went about my life, went to work, went to school, and all that. And so fast forward to like a couple days later, I was actually on the balcony, kind of the balcony, like it's like an apartment where you like walk up the steps, and there's like a porch. Yeah, that's what it was, like a porch. And then I was like, I was on the porch, and then so Ernesto calls me, and he says, oh baby, I'm close to your house, you know, you want to hang out? So I was like, okay, sure. So like he came over like 3 minutes later, and we're on the porch talking. Like, he had to smoke a cigarette, right? He like had to. So we're talking on the porch while he's smoking, and then before I know it, a car comes driving up, and it has my sister's boyfriend in the car and his friend that I had made out with a few days. Like, me and Ernesto weren't doing anything, we're just talking, but you know, there beside me stands a guy in like like has all these muscles like a wife beater, and he's just, yeah. Anyway, so like they drove up, and he like saw me and saw the guy, and then my sister's boyfriend had said something to him, and then he drove away. So I was like, oh my god. Like, I was thinking he was gonna come upstairs, he was gonna ask who it was. Like, I felt really bad because I had like just made out with him a few days earlier. We were like vibing off of each other. Then here is this guy that I'm like hooking up with right here in front of me. So my sister's boyfriend comes up the stairs, and I was like, oh my god, what happened? And he was like, it's cool, it's cool. I told him your friend is gay. And I was just like, oh my god, like that's so funny. And that's why he left. Like, I knew, like, he knew what was going on, but he drove away anyways. I believe it would have been awkward, super awkward. I was so bad. I continued to like hook up with this guy. It wasn't until me and the new guy like started dating more, started talking more, and then I told him, that guy, that he saw like I was actually hooking up with him. And he was like, yeah, I kind of figured that. He was like, it's cool, like I was dating other girls anyways, you know. So I was like, well, fuck. I guess we were both doing the same thing. So I didn't sleep with the new guy though. I did not, until it was like maybe a month into dating him. And then I told him I was gonna stop dating the other guy. I told him I wanted him to stop dating other girls, and then we pretty much were together after that. But let me tell you, that relationship did not end well. But you know what they say, like how you get them is how you lose them, right? Okay guys, well that was my story time for today. And let me know if you guys enjoyed this story time video. I'd love to make more. I'll definitely talk about that relationship more if you want to hear about it. Just like any other stories I have, I'll try to make more videos on. And yeah, I hope you enjoy that story. There's a lot more to come. And please subscribe to my channel. I'd love to show your channel love and subscribe to yours as well. See what you guys are up to. And talk to more new YouTubers like myself. And yeah, I hope you guys all enjoy. And I will see you next time.